Hello and welcome to the new series of Drishti IAS. I am Pooja Divedi, and in this segment today we are going to discuss about the Earth Day. This topic is very important. The facts are important from the perspective of prelims and also from the perspective of mains. The analytical part is important. So stay tuned to make sure that you get good marks in mains as well as prelims. So what is Earth Day? What is the history of it? What is the entire deal that we are going to discuss over here? Earth Day has been celebrated since 1970, and the reason we celebrate Earth Day today is to raise awareness about the only and sole habitable planet that we know, and yet we exploit it as if we have another planet to go to. Earth Day 2022 has the theme of Invest in Our Planet. Invest in our planet. So this is a bit for prelims. Okay, and what is going to be the gist of the entire segment is how corporate world can do better in terms of contributing to the earth, and how it is already doing a lot, specifically from the perspective of India. Let's move on and talk about Earth Day. What is Earth Day? Earth Day is a day to celebrate and raise awareness about the planet Earth. Make sure that whatever economic, social or leisure activities that we do are sustainable in nature, and April 22nd is the day where we celebrate Earth Day. The modern environmental movement began in 1970, very interestingly, when Senator of Wisconsin, Gaylord Nelson, raised awareness about it when he saw a huge oil spill in Santa Barbara, California. Then he hired an activist to make sure that students during the spring break and the final day of exam that was falling on April 22nd, they took to streets and talk about and raise awareness about a pollution-free environment, be it water pollution, air pollution, noise pollution, any sort of pollution. And hence, it got global recognition in 1990. And it gave a huge boost when students from America started doing it. Many other countries joined in. It gave a huge boost to recycling efforts worldwide and helped pave the way for 1992 United Nations Earth Summit in Rio de Janeiro. Moving on. If we talk about the General Assembly, which designated 22nd April as the Earth Day, it was only done in 2009 through a resolution. And Earth Day is widely recognized as the largest secular observance in the world. As citizens of India, when we are trying to make our mark in the world, we should know not only economic but environmental sustainability is also important. And this is what our companies need to understand. What is the contribution of corporate sector? Now, investors nowadays are looking at the ESG model of companies. What is the ESG model? Environmental, social and governance. So, as you see that as we are progressing forward and as we have paid the price on many occasions with respect to over-exploitation of nature, investors, when they see the stability of a company, they are also taking into account, along with social and governance, the environmental features. So, in 2018, Wipro became the first Indian IT company to have its emission reductions targets validated by Science Based Target Initiative, which is an initiative to make sure that companies transition to a low carbon economy. And alongside 20 other Mahindra Group companies, Mahindra and Mahindra Limited has committed to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 47% per equivalent product unit by 2033. And that was with the base year 2018. Mahindra is the largest tractor producing company in the country. And Mahindra is a flagship company when we talk about the farm sector. And agriculture, it contributes a lot to climate change. Ours is a agriculture-based economy. So, Mahindra is doing a great job with respect to that. Not only that, Hindustan Zinc Limited has also, shifted from open cast mining to underground mining. Open cast mining, very prevalent in nature with respect to mining purposes. It creates a lot of air pollution, soil pollution, because it's an open pit. Underground mining is not doing so. So, with respect to that, it has done a great job, and emission reduction of more than 68,000 tons of CO2 equivalent in 2018 was registered. Now, the Godrej watershed development projects in the drought-prone regions of Maharashtra, Telangana, Karnataka, and Madhya Pradesh has comprehensively worked towards keeping the land and water resources intact. It has worked wonders because it maintained the ecological balance of 10,000 hectares of land, and also 10 million, yes, 10 million kiloliter of water is being saved every year. So you see that not only the companies such as these, but Tata Group is also working great in the manner to save the environment. And that is why the Friedman doctrine no more holds currency. Friedman doctrine said that only social responsibility of a company is to make sure that they are doing well economically, they are contributing economically. But that's not true anymore. Not only profit, but now environmental sustainability is also very important. Legislation should be needed with respect to greenhouse gas emission. Why? Because once we have a legislative framework, more and more compliance will be maintained, because companies are not doing very great, to be honest, right now. They are doing great, but not enough to make sure that we are in accordance with the Paris Agreement that wants us to keep the greenhouse gas emission and the global temperature below 1.5 degrees Celsius, and that's not there. Also, renewable energy, not only energy consumption should be reduced, wastage should be reduced, but also whatever energy that the corporate is enjoying should be with respect to renewable energy. And that needs funding and investment. A CSR model could help. Waste management, because methane is also a greenhouse gas. Whatever waste the companies are generating, units should be set up at each district so that those units can be responsible for waste management of certain number of companies. Also, employee transportation, because employees are sometimes they work through their own conveyance, they come to the office through their own conveyance. So they should make sure that whatever vehicles the employees are using are also compliant with the Bharat State 6 norms. Moving on, if we talk about conclusion. Now, as I told you that companies are doing great but not great enough. See, two companies in the two market segments, since the beginning of the awareness of corporate sector being responsible to the environment, in two markets, companies have regressed. In 2015, 29% German companies were aligned with the 2050 climate target, dropping only slightly to 28% in 2021. Now in India, the alignment again dropped from 25% to 24%, whilst in Britain, the figure remained the same at 21%. Now, the monthly peak amount of carbon dioxide in Earth's atmosphere reached 414.8 parts per million in 2019, which is very, very harmful. Why? Because first of all, the country, not only India, but the world is trying to get back on track after the COVID-19 pandemic. But in order to make sure that the economies are doing great, coal is being the king. Still, it is the king in the energy mix of India. So what we are going to do, we are going to depend a lot on coal to get our economy back on track for the funding for the renewable process. So peaking should be done earlier. The earlier the peak will come for the globe as a whole, the earlier we will be able to keep a track on whatever emissions that we have to reduce. So that is a problem. Transition should be done in a clean manner. In a green manner, companies should make sure that they are sustainable in nature, because their share value also now depends on the ESG model. Okay, let's move forward. And as investors, of course, we have to make sure that we are well aware of what are the ESG properties of a company. Let's see the question. Analyze how the corporate world is contributing to the betterment of the environment in 250 words. Okay. So that's it for today. Tomorrow we shall meet again with another segment. Until then, stay updated and thank you so much for watching.